Rockstar has officially announced that Red Dead Redemption 2 has been delayed to, quote, spring of 2018. Now, if you are familiar with Rockstar and their games at all, this will not come as much of a surprise. In fact, they have not released a game in the last 10 years that wasn't delayed at least once, but usually multiple times. For instance, Grand Theft Auto 5 was set to release in 2012, but was delayed to spring of 2013, and then delayed again to its eventual launch in fall of 2013. And of course, the original Red Dead Redemption was delayed multiple times as well. Now, all of this made me think about something very, very specific, and something that's been on my mind for a while. Basically, the idea of delaying a game because it is quote-unquote not ready. This is something that some developers quote as a reason, others don't seem to give a crap. Like, look at BioWare releasing Mass Effect Andromeda. Clearly, they didn't seem to care that much whether or not that game was ready, so to speak, because it wasn't. Or if you look at a game like Fallout 4 specifically, and Bethesda's titles, they don't really delay their games because they seem to just accept that their games are going to be buggy, and so they just say, well, we'll just put it out. They expect it to be buggy, so who really cares? And on this channel, I've always tried to take a more consumer-friendly approach to these discussions, because after all, my viewers are consumers. I'm a consumer. I'm not given free copies of these games. I'm not given review codes. I'm paying for these games just the same as everyone else. So when I pay for a game, I expect a finished product that I can enjoy, and that is what I expect in return for my $60 or however much I'm paying for it. And this is one reason that Rockstar is one of my favorite developers, period, because they're not afraid to delay a game multiple times. In the case of Grand Theft Auto 5, basically a year, or the PC version, 2 years even, you could argue, to make sure that it's ready and that it is the best that it can possibly be at the time that it is released. And it's something that you simply don't see very often in the industry, and it's very, very refreshing when you do see it. Now, Ubisoft in the past has been a company, as we saw with Assassin's Creed Unity, that is really hit or miss with this. Either they release a really polished game, and it really does seem to be a matter of the subsidiary companies, the actual developers of the games themselves. For instance, the Stick of Truth and that segment that's currently working on the Fractured But Whole, that studio has delayed those games multiple times. They don't seem to be afraid of delaying because they're trying to make it what they want it to be. Whereas Assassin's Creed seems to be pushed out and really pressured to be released at a specific time. And we saw that collapse and really come back to bite Ubisoft, of course, in 2014 with Assassin's Creed Unity, a game which by no stretch of the imagination was ready to be released at that time. It needed minimum 6 months to a year more of polish. Now, Ubisoft seems to have heard all of these complaints and taken note. For instance, they've obviously skipped 2016 with the Assassin's Creed franchise, and they're willing to, according to their CEO, they're willing to delay the game even further if they need to. But even still, there doesn't seem to be a lot of care behind the reveals of these games. Again, Rockstar seems to knock it out of the park time and time again. When they announced Red Dead Redemption 2, they did it with a trailer, something that you could see. You could see the game. There was no question. This is what we're giving you. It's going to be great. And everyone loved it. Everyone went crazy. It was so exciting. And then Ubisoft decides to essentially confirm that there will be another Assassin's Creed, not confirming necessarily the exact title, but confirming there will be an Assassin's Creed game shown off at E3. And the way that they decided to do it was to mention it at an earnings call for their investors that they will be releasing an Assassin's Creed game during this fiscal year, and then just say, yeah, we are, when asked about it by journalists and reporters, and then tweet out this picture, or this GIF rather, of just saying, hey, get ready, we got something, get ready, it's gonna be cool. And that it screams a lack of care and passion for the title. And maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's very possible that they're going to blow us all away at E3 and show us something that I'm like, holy crap, this was worth the wait. This was worth the crappy tweet that announced it. But still, I hold Rockstar up as the pinnacle of modern AAA game design, in that they are able to release these games that are so amazing that it baffles everyone as to how they were able to develop it. And they're also not afraid to delay a game, in some cases, years, in order to get it right. Not to put it into development hell just because it wasn't meeting certain standards of diversity quotas, or they have to recast an actress because she wasn't actually black, and like all of this stuff. Like we heard the whole debacle with Uncharted 4, the fact that Nadine's voice actress wasn't actually black, and so they were looking at possibly delaying that game as a result. Absolute insanity. Rockstar doesn't seem to care. They just say, no, we're going to make the game right. We're not screwing around with that stuff. And we're going to release a game that's good, we're going to polish it, and we're going to deliver a product to our customers that they expect and that we can be proud of and that they can be proud of. And I think that's wonderful, and I hope that more companies learn from their example in the future. Hey, did you like that? Well, that was just an extra of the full show that I do every weekend. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to check it out. Ad card things popping up everywhere, and subscribe if you haven't already.